You probably know Assam for its famous tea or its silk, but Assam is so much more. And this month, we'll be exploring all of it. And today, we are starting our journey with something unique, an overlanding adventure to the border of Bhutan. Hopefully, we make it in one piece.
Actually, on the bed of a river, and we don't know how to get out.
Let's get started.
First, here's a quick tour of the vehicle we received from the camping company. It's a Tata Xenon rear-wheel drive with street tires and good ground clearance. It's a manual transmission and comes with the essentials like air conditioning and a stereo system. Plus, there's some space for your luggage in the back, and that's about it. Until you look at its rear. Its pickup bed has been transformed into a rooftop tent setup that can be deployed anywhere you want by removing the cover, unhooking some clasps, deploying the ladder and opening the windows. Plus, it also comes with a box in the back that contains a sleeping bag, 2 chairs, a kettle, some pots and cups, and even a table.
We have set up the 2 chairs and the table that came with the car. Everything was foldable and fit in that box.
SUV tour done. Here's what we have planned for the day. We'll be driving north of Guwahati, the capital, to 2 campsites at the border of India and Bhutan. The second camp is also the world's first elephant friendly tea estate that is supposed to leave anyone speechless. We left Guwahati at 1 pm and a 2.5-hour drive across various tea plantations and a short boat ride to the north bank brought us to our first stop. On the north bank, there is a campsite. So this is our first stop of the day. This campsite has kayaking if you want to, and it has a zip line that's around 350 meters long from that side to this side. And they have made lunch for us, so we're super excited. So for lunch, we have rice and pork. And the preparation of pork is called otinga. We also got a fish dish that is served to us. It's known as khar and it's prepared with brinjal. The food is really tasty. Lunch is over. It was quite interesting, very, very different from what we expected, like a completely different sort of taste. And the chef was so hospitable. He came, spoke to us a lot, came giving us seconds, trying to give us thirds and fourths, and then we were like, no, we cannot eat anymore. Now we are waiting on the north bank because our car is parked down in the south bank, and there's only one raft that takes passengers up and down this river, and looks like they come back only if the raft is full. So we're waiting for them to come. We've been waving at them and asking, begging them to come here. Soon we were back on the road, super excited for a final campsite where we would pitch our tent, and it all seemed to be going smoothly until all of a sudden this happened. We're still on the way to the next place. Thank goodness we have this car because there are hardly any roads here. It's just like a patch of dirt and GPS is telling us that this is the way. And it's kind of scary because it's starting to get dark now and we have no idea where really we are. It's 4:30 now and it looks like the sun is going to set in 5 more minutes or so. Little did we know at that time that sunset meant absolute darkness in these parts. Now we're less than 10 minutes away. And this is what we see. But GPS in our hands, we kept soldiering on until we could soldier on no more. Okay, it appears that we are stuck actually on the bed of a river and we don't know how to get out. Our tires stuck in the wet mud. We don't know where we are. The GPS is all messed up. I'm scared, okay, but not really scared, but kind of scared. And I have called and spoken to the nephew of the camp we were supposed to go to, and he said to wait where we are, share our live location, and he's gonna come here. It's actually only 5, but it seems like it's 10 o'clock or so, and that gives it a very scary vibe. And actually, there's nobody in sight, like no one. And suddenly, we realize that we are in the middle of the river, on the riverbed. There's water on either side, and we just can't get out. Looks like our help is arriving. Fingers crossed. Okay, we finally managed to get out of that. Ah, so relieved. Thanks to him.
Hi.
We are following those guys over there. They are our saviors. Because literally we're in the middle of nowhere and the only way to reach is by following them. And we have finally reached. Okay, I swear we reached. It said, welcome to Tenzing Bodosa. But where is the entry? Finally, this seems like an entrance. And it says treehouse.
Yes, we had finally reached the campsite and we began setting up the rooftop tent. And by we, I mean everybody we could find because we couldn't see anything given how dark it was. 10 minutes later, a magnificent tent was up.
Finally, we finished setting up our overlanding tent. I'm extremely happy with it. This is the entrance. But we'll show you the rest in the morning because it's really dark right now and there's a bonfire waiting for us and we're gonna head there. So we finally got some alone time after reaching here. We're sitting in front of a bonfire in the middle of nowhere. This place is amazing. It's in the middle of a tea estate and this place is an organic tea estate and the only elephant friendly one, and that too it's awarded that title by the WWF. So I'll show you all about this place tomorrow morning because now it's dark around us, but right now we are having tea and some biscuits which is served by them. A quick dinner comprising of rice, dal, pork, duck, eggplant and papad later, we turned in for the night. This is the tent where I'm still sleeping on, and the reason I'm in such a comfortable position is because there is a mattress under me. Here what you can see in front of me is a window. So this window either has a covering which is a net covering, so you can still see outside but you can prevent mosquitoes from coming in. This is how that would look. Or it's a complete covering to prevent people from even peeking inside. So each of these coverings has a zip. Similarly, like this, there's one on my left and on my right. Same, there are coverings, but it's also the entrance. So I walk up over here to the right. I have a sleeping bag with me, which I'm going to roll just before I sleep. But the mattress in itself is so comfy, so I'm going to use the sleeping bag as a pillow. So you can easily see there's a bonfire right there. I can look at the bonfire, I can see the tea fields everywhere. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Good morning everybody. I slept in this tent which is over my car today. The sleeping bags are so comfortable. I had a really good night's sleep and the view in the morning of the sunrise is priceless. Like, I wish our phones or our cameras could record that, but no. You have to come here to see it yourself. And even though we're sleeping like on a car, it did not feel like that at all. It was like I'm sleeping on a comfortable bed. First of all, there's one layer of sponge that's comfortable, then the sleeping bag that's super comfortable, and it did not shake at all. And just imagine taking this car with your luggage in the back, going anywhere at all, and sleeping wherever you want to sleep.
But there was no time to stay in the tent any longer. because we were in a one-of-a-kind tea estate, stretching for acres. This estate is filled with tea plantations as well as all kinds of other trees and plants to create an inclusive home for the natural wildlife in the area. There's also a trekking path that took us past a dense vegetation and led us to a viewpoint from which we could see the border of our country and the beauty of nature untamed.
This is the edge of India. That there is Bhutan, and this is India. And right now I'm like leaning on a branch of a tree at the edge of a cliff which goes down.
But perhaps the most fascinating thing about the estate was its many tree houses. To access the tree house, there are wooden stairs which lead first to the middle section, which houses the bathrooms, and then to the top section where the bedroom is with its 2 balconies.
We reach the top floor. This is our room. We have an adjacent balcony to sit out and look at the beautiful tea estates and the wilderness. This entire place is made of wood, obviously because it's a tree house. We have a huge bed here and another tiny bed if you're like 3 people or you're a couple with a child. There is a rack with a lot of comfortable blankets and towels down there, so if you've forgotten to get your bedsheet because it can get really cold here, or if you've forgotten to get your towel and want to have a bath, you can use these. There's a table next to the bed. This room has 2 windows, one on either side, and 2 balconies, one from where we entered and the other one's here. This balcony here faces the outside and it's amazing. There is also a tree branch that comes in through the room at multiple locations. So the middle floor, this is the bathroom, and it's acceptable considering the fact that it's on a tree. Overall, this room is very cozy and it's way more warmer inside than outside. And when else do you get to stay in such a beautiful house on top of the tree?
After a quick breakfast at the restaurant,
We have Maggie and boiled eggs for breakfast.
it was time for us to say goodbye to the place. But we have so much more to explore in Assam over the next few weeks, including tea picking, exploring tribal villages and Kaziranga, as well as the disappearing island of Majuli. Subscribe now so you don't miss out, and we'll see you soon.